What's up everybody, my name is Bobby and today I have another unboxing and review for you guys. So in one of my most recent videos I actually talked about the Nomad Leather skin. For those of you who don't know about Nomad, Nomad makes a series of really high quality leather products for just technology accessories in general, and I'm a big fan of their stuff because of the way it patinas over time. So this is an example of like their Airpods Pro case and just kind of what it looks like after X amount of months versus one that's like only like a week old. It'll kind of darken and get these kind of, wear marks and just overall look better with age. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a new case from Nomad, and that's going to be for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So as for the leather skin, so overall, over time, I actually really started to like this leather skin. The reason I actually ordered the case as opposed to keeping just with the leather skin was because in the first couple days of having it, I actually slid it into my pocket and the whole front of it actually peeled up, and I thought I did a pretty good job installing it. And I was just kind of and I put it in a bag that I use when I go running, and the edges started to peel up right over there. So I just kind of figured that in a short amount of time this leather skin was going to be just kind of a waste of money, to be honest. But the more I've used it, it's actually kind of sealed itself to the phone even better, so that I didn't feel like mentioning that just because it kind of alleviated that concern. But as for, more protection, I decided to pick up the case, and there's a really cool new feature with the case that I wanted to try out as well, and I'll definitely touch on that in a moment. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay. Well, that was a fail. Alright, my bad guys, sorry about that. Okay, so where were we? So Nomad case. Looks like the box kind of got banged up in transit. And then anything else? Sometimes they include little stickers or other stuff inside of it, which does not appear to be the case this time. So that's enough of that. Alright, now as for the Modern Leather case. So now they're calling it the Modern Leather case as opposed to the Rugged Leather case. And the big new feature that I wanted to try out is actually a digital business card. So there's actually going to be an NFC chip built into the case that you're able to set up using an app that I'll touch on shortly. And it basically lets you program a business card, if you will. So if you're out and about and somebody wants your contact information, they just have to tap the back of your phone case and it should transfer over that information for you. So as for the Modern Leather case, let's go check it out. And there it is. Now, this is what I'm talking about as far as brown leather goes. If you guys have seen my review of the Apple leather case from this year, it's a very orange, almost like their poppy color. It's in between poppy and saddle brown, which was the leather color from last year. They're calling this one golden brown. If you compare that to Nomad's leather case, I just think that's a way better color. And then the color that it turns into is that really dark brown that I'm a big fan of. So on the inside you got this really nice, almost microfiber lining. You have kind of that thick rubber bumper style with the cutout for the silent switch. It's like a texturized power button. And then in addition to the MagSafe ring, you actually see down here, it's kind of hard to see in this light, but it has a little NFC logo right there. Now, because the camera bump is so much bigger this year, it looks like there is a pretty sturdy camera bump protection ring, I don't know what to call it, but on that side. And then, of course, got to do the smell test. Yep, smells phenomenal. It smells like leather. Okay, now, this has been something I've been debating if I want to try to keep the leather skin on and use it like so. When you do that with the Apple case, it fits really snug. It does work, but I don't really like the way it fits. It doesn't feel like it's super secure. So let's see how this one looks. Hold on. Okay, so Alright, now, doesn't really fit that. I mean, it fits to a passable level, like all the buttons still work, cutouts are still accessible, but you can see that there's normally supposed to be like a lip around the edge for like protection if you want to set the phone face down, and there isn't anymore because that screen is just too, or that skin is just too thick and it's not allowing it to do so. As far as MagSafe capabilities, if you have like a MagSafe accessory that you're trying to use with it, having that extra ring of magnetic ability inside the case itself will actually kind of bypass the skin and still give it that really secure connection, which I'm definitely a big fan of. But honestly, for just the sake of having this case fit properly on my phone, I think I'm gonna actually try to take off the case and preserve it. So I don't know if that's possible. I'm pretty sure these are like a one-time only type thing. This is gonna be the box from the leather skin, and I believe I actually saved the little piece of 3M sticker paper that the skin came on. And so what my thought process is I'm gonna use a hair dryer to kind of like heat up whatever the heat up the sticky adhesive solution and try to peel it off carefully to a point where I'm not gonna rip it. I'm definitely gonna do it from the bottom up so that I'm not stretching this thin part right here that's around the camera hole, and hopefully if I can like get it loose enough, I can, you know, take it off and put it on here and hopefully preserve it. But if not, oh well, no harm, no foul. So I'll be back in a moment and I'll let you guys know how that goes. All right, I am back, and that legitimately worked as good as I could have possibly hoped. Like, I can't even believe how well that worked. So the only thing that I would say is that because this is leather, and leather does dry out and crack over time, I might put like a little bit of leather conditioner on it before I go ahead and toss it back in the box, just because I feel like it is like right on the verge of cracking. But it came off perfectly. I just blasted it with an air dryer on the back to kind of loosen up that adhesive material, and then peeled it off, and then lo and behold, here we are. Put it back on. I'd say the hardest part of that whole process was getting it back on this thing straight so that it didn't hang over the edge. But with that secured, I'm gonna go ahead and toss this back in here for now. Perfect. Sweet. Now we can throw the phone in the case without anything in between. And boom, that fits perfectly now. So the case looks awesome. Those rubber bumpers, they're still rounded. The one downside to Nomad cases compared to like the Apple leather ones, in my opinion, is I like how squared off the leather case is from Apple. It feels more like the actual phone does, whereas on a Nomad case, I don't know if you guys could see that, but it has this almost kind of like ridge to it that almost gives it like a rounded feel, which is something that, you know, the whole point of the design change with the new phone is that it's gonna be that squared off edge, whereas this one kind of brings it back to a rounded feel. But on the flip side, you are getting way better drop protection. You do still get that MagSafe capability. And then on top of that, now there's going to be an NFC chip built into it that's going to allow me to set it up as a digital business card, which is pretty exciting. So that business card feature is powered by a company called Popple, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and get that set up, use this case for a little bit, and then I'll jump back and let you guys know what I think. Okay, so after messing around with this new case and the settings of the actual digital business card aspect of it, along with just using it for a little bit, I've come to some conclusions about the actual functionality of it. So as far as setting up the NFC chip, that's actually going to be done through a company called Popple by downloading their free app, and then you go ahead, set up yourself a profile, along with kind of fill out the profile with what information you want to be included with your business card. Now, as far as how useful the actual business card is, it's not exactly like sharing like a digital contact card or something like that. It's literally just like a NFC link, essentially, to where when you decide that you want to share it with someone, you tap your phone to the area on the case where the NFC chip is, and then it'll bring up a website that they can go to and then interact with all of your information. Now, one thing that wasn't disclosed ahead of time that I thought was a little bit of a bummer is when you're setting up your information in Popple or whatever it's called, there's certain pieces of information that if you want to use that as part of your business card, or if you want to have like one for personal and one for business, or just kind of like a large majority of the functionality, it's actually a paid service. So you actually have to pay either monthly or yearly, which is a little misleading. There is still a lot of free options as far as what you are able to put into the actual card that you're using. So it's not super bad, especially if you just really want to transfer over the basics. But if you really want to take full advantage of that functionality, you are going to have to pay some money. But overall, I think it's a nice addition, and like, you know, cool little extra features like that for a case that was this same price, you know, last year. You just get extra functionality. Definitely a win in my book, and hopefully it comes in handy. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to use it in a real world scenario, but knowing that it's there, I think that's pretty neat. Now, as for the case, same level of protection I would say that you're gonna get from like the rugged case from Nomad in previous years. I went ahead on a run with this since I last shot that, you know, opening clip, and when I had the case inside like the bag that I use with my runs, it, you know, scuffed up. It started to get that scuff that I had across the side of my phone, which actually pushed up the leather skin. It's just kind of like a caveat of it being in the side of my bag, you know, sideways, bouncing up and down. But over time, I expect it to really wear nicely. I mentioned in an earlier video that I might put some Neat's foot oil on the Apple case and see how it darkens that. And honestly, at this point, I'm thinking about just kind of doing both of these at the same time with maybe the skin as well, and seeing how that kind of translates if you really like the dark look of the leather, seeing how that works. So that's probably coming in an upcoming video. But yeah, overall, not too much to say about this case. It has really good drop protection, really, you know, good quality full grain leather that's gonna wear and patina over time, and it has that nice leather smell, but you also get some of kind of the modern protection benefits with like a rubber bumper and like microfiber liner. You also get NFC capabilities like for a digital business card. The camera hole cutout, even though that lip is kind of massive, it definitely protects the camera a lot better as well, which I surely appreciate considering how big those sensors are. It definitely would suck to have that kind of get cracked on something, so that extra lip of protection completely keeps them off the table, which is nice. But yeah, you know, camera hole cutout I just talked about. Got really nice port access down on the bottom. Really not too much more to say about it. I also have a screen protector on my phone, and there is no issue with that, along with this lip along the side so you can set it face down and you're good to go. But yeah, that just about does it. If you're interested in picking up one of these cases, I will have a link to it down in the description down below. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because I have a ton more content coming. I also have some giveaways going on, so if you're interested in those, I'll leave the links to those down below. If you guys do have any comments about this case, or, you know, about things I didn't cover, or comparisons, or, you know, questions about, you know, features of it and that type of thing, definitely let me know. But yeah, until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.